morning rush at Harborview Cafe was chaos. Coffee cups clinked, phones buzzed, and exhausted faces filled every corner. Behind the counter, Lena Parker, a 25-year-old waitress with messy brown hair and tired eyes, smiled through the noise. Her apron was faded, her shoes worn thin, but her warmth, her kindness never ran out. She wasn't just serving coffee. She was surviving. Her dad's medical bills, her younger brother's school fees, every tip, every extra shift mattered. That's when the cafe door opened. And everything changed. A sleek black car stopped outside. A tall man in a tailored gray suit walked in, confident, unreadable. He was Ethan Sterling, one of the youngest billionaires in New York. The staff froze, whispering. His company owned half the block. And with him came an elderly woman with soft silver hair, a pearl brooch, and gentle eyes. Lena noticed how she looked around quietly. No phone, no earbuds, no sound reaction. Then she saw it, the small hearing device tucked behind her ear. Ethan looked at his mother lovingly and said something Lena couldn't hear. The woman smiled but didn't respond. That's when it hit her. She's deaf. Ethan politely asked for a table, and as they sat, he leaned close to speak slowly to his mom. The other waiters exchanged nervous glances. No one wanted to take their order. They were too afraid to mess up. Lena took a deep breath, smoothed her apron, and walked over. "Good morning," she said warmly. Placing 2 menus down, Ethan gave a polite nod, but his mother looked up, confused, unsure. Then Lena did something no one expected. She smiled softly and began to sign. "Welcome to Harborview Cafe. My name is Lena. It's an honor to have you here." The old woman's eyes widened in disbelief. Then slowly her lips curved into a trembling smile. Her hands began to move back. "You know sign language?" Lena nodded. "My little brother was born deaf. I learned to talk with my hands before I could afford hearing aids for him." Tears welled in the woman's eyes. Ethan, watching silently, seemed stunned. For the first time, his mother laughed. A pure, quiet laugh that filled the silence better than any sound could. Lena took their order entirely through sign. She asked about allergies, made a small joke about the coffee being stronger than New York traffic, and the woman chuckled. When Lena walked away, the other waiters whispered, "Did you see that?" Even the manager peeked from behind the counter, speechless. But what no one knew was that Lena's rent was overdue, and she was planning to quit that week to take a second job at a gas station. Life had pushed her so hard that kindness felt like the only thing she still owned. After they finished their meal, Ethan called for the check. Lena brought it over, smiling. But instead of handing her the card, Ethan looked at her intently and said, "You made my Mother's Day. No, her year. She hasn't been this happy since my father passed." He slid a small white envelope across the table. Inside was a check, $5,000, and a business card. "We run a foundation for hearing-impaired children," Ethan said. "We've been looking for someone genuine to help us reach families who can't afford therapy or equipment." "My mom thinks you're perfect." Lena was speechless. Her hands trembled as she signed back to his mother. "Thank you for seeing me." The woman smiled and signed back. "No, my dear. Thank you for speaking my language." As they left, the cafe fell silent. Even the manager wiped his eyes. That evening, Lena went home and hugged her brother tighter than ever. She told him sometimes kindness speaks louder than money. Months later, she was no longer just a waitress. She was working full-time with the Sterling Foundation, helping children like her brother find their voices. And every time she walked into a room full of laughter and hand-signing stories in the air, she remembered that one morning when a simple greeting changed her life forever. Weeks passed and Lena's life began to change in quiet, beautiful ways. She still worked at Harborview Cafe, but her shifts felt lighter now. Every time she walked past the corner booth where Ethan and his mother once sat, she smiled. The memory of that morning, those gentle hands moving through the air, reminded her that kindness always finds its way back. One rainy afternoon, she was wiping down tables when the door opened again. That same black car was parked outside. Ethan walked in, this time without his mother. He looked around until his eyes found her. "Lena," he said with a genuine smile, I was hoping you'd still be here. Her heart skipped. Hi, Mr. Sterling, coffee again? He shook his head. Actually, I came to talk business. He told her how his mother couldn't stop talking about her, the young woman who made her feel heard again. She had convinced him to expand the foundation's outreach program, and they wanted Lena to help lead it, not as a volunteer this time, but as a full-time coordinator. Lena laughed in disbelief. Me? I don't even have a degree. Ethan smiled. You have something better, Hart. She looked down, tears burning behind her eyes. For so long, life had been about survival. Tips, bills, long nights. But suddenly, for the first time, it felt like purpose. A month later, Lena stood in a small classroom surrounded by children. Some were deaf, some partially hearing, but all were smiling. She signed every word slowly, carefully, with love. The room was alive with movement, hands flying, laughter silent yet powerful. And in the back of the room stood Ethan's mother, her eyes glistening with pride. After class, she approached Lena and signed, "You remind me of my husband." He always said, "The richest people are those who give what money can't buy." Lena's eyes softened. Your son gave me a chance. I just want to give others the same. The woman placed her hand over Lena's heart. You already have. As the sun set through the classroom windows, the golden light danced across the children's faces. Lena looked around and realized something profound. Her life hadn't changed because of a billionaire's money. It changed because she dared to care, even when no one was watching. That night, as she closed her journal, she wrote a single line. The world listens when you speak with kindness, even if it can't hear your voice. And somewhere out there, in a quiet cafe or a noisy city street, someone else's story was waiting to begin. With a smile, a helping hand, and a language that spoke straight to the heart.